afternoon, and welcome to this historic day and the official announcement of New Jersey as the host of the 2014 Special Olympics USA National Games. My name is Bobby Fredericks, and I was a proud member of the New Jersey team that attended the 2010 USA National Games in Lincoln, Nebraska, bringing home the gold medal in the 4x100 meter relay. Participating in that event was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I am proud to say that New Jersey will now host an event that can provide hundreds, maybe thousands, of greatest moments in athletes' lives throughout the country. That's pretty cool, right? We have a great group here today who will provide an overview of the 2014 Games. To begin, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a longtime friend of Special Olympics New Jersey, our MC, Mr. Jack Ford.
Bobby, thank you to you. And Bobby, you should know, has been selected as one of the 12 athlete ambassadors who is going to serve as spokespersons for the 2014 USA Games. And you could see, not only athletically talented, but he's ready to take Geraldo's job over here, as a matter of fact. Bobby, thank you. I am delighted to be here to welcome you all and to help celebrate this wonderful moment for Special Olympics New Jersey and for the great state of New Jersey. I have had the wonderful privilege for the last 10 years or so of hosting the opening ceremonies for the Special Olympics Summer Games here in New Jersey. And I said to somebody after the first one that I did, I've had the good fortune through the course of my work in media to cover things such as Olympics and Super Bowls and Final Fours, just World Series, any athletic event there is, fortunately I've been to. And I said to somebody the day after my first attendance at a Summer Olympics, Special Olympics New Jersey Games, that I've never been involved in anything as inspirational in my life as participating in that. And the great inspiration flows from the athletes, from Bobby and the athletes, to all of us who were privileged to participate in some fashion or another. I've mentioned this before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Winston Churchill, in one of his more celebrated and shortest speeches that he ever gave, and it was a commencement address, and he stood up before the gathering and he said, looked out across and he said to them, here's my advice to you. Never run away from anything and never ever give up. And he sat down. And if you've ever seen any of the competitions, any of the Special Olympians participate, what you realize very quickly is that they have instinctively taken that to heart. Not only do they never run away from anything, but they truly run literally and figuratively toward every obstacle in their lives. And they never ever give up. And it's a power of inspiration that is unmatched anywhere. So for all of those reasons, those of you who have been there before know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you who haven't, I truly hope at some time soon before our 2014 Games, or at the very least then, that you come watch, because you'll learn a great deal about the power of inspiration that these extraordinary athletes provide to all of us. And let's have a quick round of applause for our athletes who are here today. We are also privileged to have a variety of good and great friends who have joined us today, who have all in some ways contributed to the mission here of Special Olympics New Jersey and participating and celebrating this great announcement today. Let me just sort of get a hand wave from each of you as I introduce you, because I do want the folks to know that you're here with us today. First and foremost, I want to thank our host, Mike Gilfillan and the New Jersey Devils and the beautiful Prudential Center. Thank you to Mike. And also, we have with us, and you'll hear from him in just a few moments, the governor of the great state of New Jersey, the Honorable Christie. We also have joining us today Dr. Timothy Shriver, the chairman and the CEO of Special Olympics. State Senate President, Senator Stephen Sweeny. A number of other folks who were going to join us. I don't know if they made it. Assembly Speaker Sheila Oliver, Assemblyman John Wisniewski, and Assemblyman Wayne D'Angelo. Also, President of the College of New Jersey and our host for our New Jersey Summer Games and one of our host colleges for the 2014 USA Games, our very good friend, Dr. Barbara Gittenstein. Also, the president of Rider University, a longtime friend, another one of our host universities for the 2014 Games, Dr. Mordecai Rosansky. From Fox, a TV personality, and truly, for many, many years, an advocate for persons with developmental disabilities, my good friend Geraldo Rivera. Another good friend from Fox News and the great state of New Jersey, Judge Anthony Napolitano. When you talk about inspiration, former Philadelphia Eagle, the inspiration for Invincible, Vince Papale is with us. The chairman of the board of Special Olympics New Jersey, executive vice president at TD Bank, Mr. Fred Graziano. The director of the Law Enforcement Torch for Special Olympics New Jersey, and indeed this is one of the most inspirational aspects of these games, if you ever had a chance to share with it. And I know many of the state committee are here also to support today's announcement, Deputy Chief Robert Belfiore. And also want to thank the many corporate partners of Special Olympics New Jersey and the corporate leadership and representatives from those corporations who are going to be joining us in support of these 2014 USA Games. Our thanks to all of you out there also. And one more time, Team New Jersey athletes, stand up, take a bow, folks. So a thanks again to all of the friends that have gathered to help share in the joy of this announcement. An announcement also for you, members of the press. I know we have a lot of you here. Just a heads up, we'll have an opportunity to field some questions from all of you a little bit later in the back end of the program. So please stay around and we'd be delighted to talk with all of you. Now, when you look at an organization such as Special Olympics New Jersey, there's so much that is required for it to be as successful as this organization has become. And also for it to be the type of organization that could draw the 2014 Games. The organization needs a structure, it needs a philosophy, it needs a mission, but it can never be as successful as our organization has become without heart and soul, and that comes from the leaders. And it's with a great deal of pleasure then that I introduce to you the heart and soul and the president of the Special Olympics New Jersey, Mr. Marc Edenzon.
Thank you, Jack. Jack has been a champion for our movement for a number of years, and we want to say thank you for coming out again today and helping us out with this because he's always there when we need him. Jack, thank you. Thank you and welcome to a very historic day for Special Olympics New Jersey. The Governor of the State of New Jersey, Senate President, Chairman of Special Olympics World Movement, presidents of colleges and universities, TV personalities and media, corporate leaders, the entire Nelligan sports marketing team, athletes, they're all here to celebrate you. Today's your day. Look around because all these people are here for you at the start of something that's going to be absolutely incredible as a ride we're all going to take. So enjoy today because this is the launch. And congratulations to you for allowing us to be able to be here to do this. Thank you, guys. I've had the privilege of being associated with Special Olympics New Jersey since the mid-1970s. I've seen the organization grow to over 21,000 athletes, 160 competitions in 24 sports in both traditional and unified programs. But Special Olympics New Jersey was very proud to submit the bid to host these games, and we're truly honored to see the state of New Jersey selected as the host, especially with the selection of TJ Nelligan as CEO for the Games, someone who has been a true champion for our movement in New Jersey for over 20 years. And TJ, this is absolutely incredible that you're on board with us and taking this role. With the success of our athletes, the commitment of our families, the dedication of our volunteers, the strong relationships with our corporate partners, our sponsoring organizations, and law enforcement, and with the incredible leadership of our board of directors headed by our chairman, Fred Graziano, Special Olympics New Jersey is in an excellent position to partner with the 2014 Special Olympics USA Games Organizing Committee to produce an event that will provide an extraordinary sports experience and an atmosphere of welcome and acceptance for athletes from throughout the United States. As an organization, we're prepared to provide technical assistance to the 2014 GOC and share our established resources and experience to ensure that these games are the best in U.S. history. The games, they'll lay a strategic groundwork for growth and participation in program activity, producing an unprecedented culture of acceptance and unity in communities across New Jersey and throughout the United States for many, many years to come. These games will change New Jersey, and they will be the spark that will ignite the country to reach out and learn just how remarkable our athletes truly are in sport, in character, and in friendship. And to acknowledge the celebration of our selection to host these games, representing the great state of New Jersey, the host of the 2014 Special Olympics USA National Games, it is my honor to introduce the Governor of the state of New Jersey, Chris Christie.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. What a great day for our state. Extraordinary day for our state. I want to thank the Senate President for being here. He's my partner in Trenton and doing the things that we're trying to do to make the state a better place, and I know that this particular day is of special importance to him and to his family, so I welcome them here and thank the Senate President for being here. Yeah, please do. 2014 is going to be a pretty good sports year for New Jersey. We'll start off in February with the Super Bowl, and then we'll move quickly into the Special Olympics Games. And it's going to be a great year for us to show just how wonderful this state is. And I've always said that while New Jersey has a great number of natural assets, our great shoreline, and the great mountains that we have in the northwestern part of our state, and so many of the wonderful things that we have, the greatest thing about New Jersey has always been and will always be its people. The deep and abiding love that people have for this state, the great sense of culture and history that we have here, that people feel connected to this state, those of us who live here, in ways that we can't logically explain. Because if we tried to logically explain why we stay here, we couldn't. It's too crowded, it's too expensive, government's too big, taxes are too high, and people are generally angry. The only thing that makes New Jerseyans more angry than all those conditions is if anybody takes a shot at New Jersey. We're allowed to, nobody else is. And what this event will do is to place an absolute spotlight on that which makes New Jersey the greatest, and that is the human spirit. It is a difficult thing to quantify. It's a difficult thing to analyze. But when you see the power of the human spirit, as you will see it in the thousands of athletes that descend upon New Jersey in 2014, it will amplify the power of the human spirit that exists here in New Jersey every day. And I think that among all the many reasons that Special Olympics has selected New Jersey, I would say the most important reason are the special people of this state who are embodied by the leadership of the Special Olympics movement in this state. The leadership that they've shown, the passion that they've shown for each and every one of these athletes. the win, the loss, the things that will happen during the games will be chronicled and will be part of history when they're over. But what I trust everyone will leave New Jersey with in 2014 is a sense of that spirit of our state and how each and every one of the athletes who come here will contribute to making that spirit soar even greater. And that's why it's such an honor for us, such a privilege for us as a state to be able to host this event. Put aside the economic impact, which will be wonderful, but what it will do to reinvigorate and to affirm that New Jerseyans care first and foremost about the power of the individual, the ability that each individual person has to overcome challenges, to meet opportunities, and to make the most of the God-given talent that each and every one of us have been blessed to receive, is what these games will leave, I hope, New Jersey with the most, is a reaffirmation of all of that. And so, while I'm thrilled as governor to be a part of this launch of these games, I'm also thrilled that in 2014, and no matter what capacity I happen to be in at the time, I will be an observer of the games, and someone who I can guarantee you will benefit just as much from the spirit that all of you, the athletes from both New Jersey and from around the country who will be here, will bring to New Jersey as anybody else. So I thank all of the corporate partners in the Special Olympics movement and the leadership of the Special Olympics movement here. I thank Tim for being here today and for all of the work that his family has done over the decades to bring this into sharp focus. And those kind of contributions that are made each and every day by Tim and by his family are ones that not only are now going to make New Jersey better, but it's part of what makes America such a special place, is that people who care that deeply about their fellow human beings to give so much of their lives and of themselves to continue to affirm the human spirit. The Shriver family deserves extraordinary credit for what they've helped to lead in our country. And now we in New Jersey, in a very, very big way, get to all be a part of it. So I thank all of you for your participation, for being here, for doing this. People ask me all the time, especially when I'm traveling outside New Jersey, what's it like to be governor of New Jersey? I don't know exactly how they mean that. But I tell them that it's the greatest opportunity in the world because you get to work with some of the most passionate, caring, wonderful people in America. And if they were here today and see the smiles on everybody's faces in this room, they would know even more than they know now, and certainly more than I can ever amply describe, exactly what I mean by what a privilege it is to have this job. And today is just another day where you've made me extraordinarily proud to be the governor of this state. So thank you all very much.
Governor, our thanks to you. Governor, our thanks to you for making this an even more special event, and we have something we want to present you with before you leave us here today.
Tracy, come on up.
On behalf of all the athletes of Special Olympics New Jersey, please accept this jersey to signify your place on Team New Jersey.
Thanks, Governor. Governor, thank you again for joining us today. We certainly appreciate it. The governor, as you might imagine, has been kind enough to carve out some time to spend it with us today, and we're going to excuse him now so he can attend to the business of the great state of New Jersey. Governor Christie, thank you one more time. I mentioned before the notion of what elevates a good and effective organization to a great one is the heart and soul that the leaders bring to it, and we have been privileged here at Special Olympics New Jersey to have a number of leaders that bring not only heart and soul but great enthusiasm to the mission of Special Olympics. And I'm proud to introduce our next speaker, a very good friend, a true champion of Special Olympics, and as we heard just a few moments ago, the chairman and CEO of the 2014 Special Olympics USA National Games, TJ Nelligan.
You got it, Bobby. Bobby's giving me some pointers. Bobby works at our restaurant in Montville with Sean, excellent worker. I want to thank the governor for coming. I think the governor's attendance here today pays the highest honor to our Special Olympics athlete and how important it is that the state of New Jersey is hosting the games. I want to thank all our athletes for being here today, and I am so excited and honored to accept the mission of hosting the 2014 Special Olympics USA National Games here in the great state of New Jersey. It's going to be an absolute blast. I want to introduce some people that have agreed to serve on the board with us and go out and raise $12 to $15 million in this economy. Very brave people indeed. The CEO of AmeriHealth is here today and will serve on our board, Judy Roman. The Executive Vice President and General Counsel of Wyndham Worldwide, Scott McLester. Good friend of ours at Special Olympics and Sean's buddy, the CEO of Jumpstart Automotive, Nick Matarazzo. A partner with Clyde & Company, LLP, Jeff O'Hara. And from our great friends at TD Bank that have done so much over the years for us, we have the market president representing TD Bank on our board, Nick Maselli. These 6 people are not only very brave, but they're going to make up a dynamic group of passionate, hardworking individuals that are going to go out into the marketplace and raise enough money to put on a world-class event that will make every citizen of the great state of New Jersey proud to be involved with these 2014 games. In order to achieve that goal, we have to change the model of how we're going to go out to corporate America. During the bid process, we had over 100 companies, most from the great state of New Jersey, most of them world-class companies that you've heard of, who gave us letters of support. They're going to help us raise that money, and they're going to do it because it's good for their business, it's good for the state of New Jersey, and it's good for our athletes and our communities. We'll be visiting with all of them over the next few months, and we'll add more dynamic people to this board to ensure that these games that we put on in 2014 are extraordinary. I've been involved, as Mark said, for almost 20 years, and as the parent of a Special Olympics athlete, my son Sean has grown so much in the last 10 years through his involvement with Special Olympics. When you're the parent of a child with intellectual disabilities, you have no idea who to turn to, who to talk to, what to do, and you hit a crossroads. And it's a very fine line between going down the road of despair and having no hope and finding these people at Special Olympics who truly change the world through changing the ability of people with intellectual disabilities through sport to maximize their potential, to fit in with the community, to excel at their jobs, to do all the things that each and every one of us want to do. So the stage for these games must be national in scope, which is why we took on this challenge. They need to be national in scope because there are going to be many, many stories throughout the country. Athletes from Bismarck, North Dakota, or Richmond, Virginia, or one of our members of Team USA will have a story to tell during the games in 2014. Our charge as a board is to make it a national stage, to make sure that every community around the country and every school is engaged in this program so that there will be a culture of acceptance and inclusion, not only on the playing field in sports, but in the neighborhoods, in the classrooms, and among their friends and peers throughout their communities. The 2014 games will be one of welcome and acceptance, creating the absolute model of bringing our athletes and our communities together and setting a great course for growth for other people that can get involved with Special Olympics New Jersey and the Special Olympics program around the country. So I look forward to seeing everybody here. The opening ceremony is going to be here at the Great Prudential Center in 2014. I vision and dream of a packed house with some of the big names that we all know who they are coming here to open the games. So it's a great honor to chair this committee. We're going to need the help of every person in this room times 100 to go out and to put on a world-class event. But I know, as the governor said, the people in this state are passionate, they're compassionate, and we will get the job done. These will be the most exceptional games in the history of the Special Olympics movement on a national basis. Which leads me into our next speaker. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the leader of the worldwide movement of Special Olympics International, good friend of Special Olympics New Jersey. We've met him many times. He is the champion of all our athletes around the world, Dr. Tim Shriver, Chairman and CEO.
Thank you, TJ. Thank you very much. I was hoping the governor would stay because the governor said, if you're not from New Jersey, you're not allowed to make fun of the state. But he didn't say I couldn't make fun of him. It's no fun to make fun of him if he's not here. But more seriously, I do, even in his absence, want to thank the governor. As TJ said, I think the presence of the governor speaks to the importance of this event for the state, for the country. You know, your governor has a reputation for being a very, very tough guy. You know, he's got Democrats all over the country shaking in their boots. I asked him, I said, you know, Governor, it's kind of summer 2014. That's when the games are. Do you realize that? And he just looked at me and he says, we'll see, won't we? So he's got a reputation for being a tough guy, but that's what these games need. That's what this state needs in order to make these games a success. It needs the toughness, the vision, the determination to break down the boundaries, just the way TJ's just said, the way Marc has done. Your great CEO here for the Special Olympics in New Jersey, the great CEO, Marc Edenzon, has been breaking down boundaries for 25 years in this state, has made this state a model for other states around the country. He's joined here by Neil Johnson from New York and Matt Aaron from the great state of Pennsylvania, who I know will be partners, and I don't know if there are other states represented, but you need the toughness, you need the team you've got, TJ, to have your vision, to have you saying here on this occasion that there is a crossroads in life. Very powerful words. It's a crossroads in life for all of us. Everybody, not just a person, not just a parent with a special needs child, and not just a parent who has to look at their child and say, other people don't understand my child. Maybe there's a lot of places, schools, workplaces, medical centers, maybe they don't understand my child, and everybody has to make that choice. Can I find the community that understands me? Can I find the community that affirms who I am? Can I find the community where I count, where I belong, where I will contribute? To have your passion and understanding that that is our intent, is to create a community where everybody counts. Not just for a week, not just for 10 days, not just for 2 weeks, but to use that 10 days to signal to the country that everybody counts. What a great gift it is to have your leadership and your passion here leading these games. Of course, I want to thank the folks from the law enforcement, Chief Belfiore, and all the folks who raise millions of dollars in this state and around the country. I want to thank certainly Jack, who's been a terrific, as he said, you know, people are referring to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to make a bet right here today. You're not supposed to bet. Well, maybe in New Jersey, can you sometimes be forgiven for? I forgot, I'm not supposed to make fun of New Jersey. But I'll bet if there's a poll done at the end of 2014 and they ask the people of New Jersey which event meant more to them, the Super Bowl or the Special Olympics USA National Games, I put money, good money on it right now, and I'll give anybody 2 to 1 that we're going to win that bet. And I thank you, Jack, for being willing to. I also want to recognize Bobby Fredericks, who's not just speaking today, not just speaking on behalf of the games, has been down in Congress. I want to recognize him and all the members of Team New Jersey, Zach Edenzon and Jason Newberry and all the folks, some of whom I know, many of whom I'm looking forward to meeting. As everyone has said, these games are not about a program. You know, sometimes they say, oh, that's a nice program. This is not a program. This is not a service delivery. There's nobody in here who's delivering a service to these athletes. This is a movement. You know, lock arms, gang. We're in it together. And the people we count on to teach us the direction to go in, to remind us of what matters in life, to reacquaint us with the best in ourselves are the athletes. So Bobby, you sit up here today representing 21,000+ people in this state, but over 500,000 in this country, and over 3.5 million athletes around the world. 3.5 million, almost a million athletes in the People's Republic of China today. 750,000 in India, and growing all across the world, communities coming together just like we're doing today and saying we want to follow this vision. You know, we have great politicians, sure. We have great leaders, great intellectuals, great academics. We can watch them on TV at night, but they don't have the same vision, Bobby, that you represent today. They don't get it the same way you do. So we're thrilled to have you athletes here once again reminding us what's most important in life, and we're counting on you. This state is counting on you to take us to success in 2014. I also just want to reflect for a moment. The governor was generous to recognize my family. And, you know, not everybody gets spoken about in terms of their family. You know, a lot of folks, well, if you go to work, you're George, or you're Sarah, or you're Susan, or you're Bill. But I'm, Tim, a part of a family. That's the way I am seen. And I've been thinking about this recently. What's that all about? And it's a terrific honor to be known as being a member of a group. I started this adventure in Special Olympics at the age of 3, you know, with a camp in my backyard. These school buses would roll in. I can remember, obviously, probably when I was 5 or 6, seeing school buses come in and people getting off those school buses. I didn't know where they were coming from. I didn't know exactly why it was important that they were in my backyard, swimming, riding ponies, playing kickball. Now I know where they were coming from. They were coming from some pretty horrible places. And they were going back to some pretty horrible places. 1967, the year before the first ever Special Olympics Games were held, was the year with the largest number of people living in institutions in the history of the United States. Peaked. More institutions housing people with different abilities than at any time in our history, the year of the first game. So those early days of learning to play kickball, learning to swim the length of the pool, those were pretty formative for me, but they were formative for our country. They reminded us that to play is not lacking in seriousness. For people to come out and be able to kick that ball, join that team, go for the goal, learn how to dribble with your right hand and then your left, learn how to do a layup, serious business when you're facing the kind of discrimination, the kind of bias, the kind of persistent misunderstanding. To be able to break that all down and say, we play together here. Wow, big business. I want to recognize, I know he's been recognized many times, but Geraldo Rivera, everybody knows him now, a big famous TV star all over the world. But in those days, Geraldo Rivera went to Willowbrook and helped shutter that horrible place. My Uncle Bobby went there in 1967. I know I'm only supposed to have 3 minutes, and I'm way over time, but the governor got me going. But anyway, this is not about the past. This is not about the past. This is about the moment in which we find ourselves here in this state, in this country. It's a time of adversity. It's a time of economic toughness. People are wondering where we're going to get the wherewithal to fight back. And a lot of people are questioning, you know, do we know how to overcome the adversity we're facing as a country? And our athletes know a little bit about adversity. They know a little bit about adversity. Still today in the United States, our athletes are denied health care. Still today in the United States, our athletes are 3 times more likely to be bullied in school than the average child. And tellingly, when our athletes are bullied, they tend to be bullied and it lasts over a year. What does that tell you? Many adults are turning a blind eye. They don't think it's important. They don't think we should stop it. They think it's a rite of passage. What are you going to do after all? There's nothing we can do. So what do our athletes do in the face of all that adversity, even today? They name it. They get out of bed in the morning, and they fight it. You know, how many people who don't have the strength of a Special Olympics athlete take all that adversity and then go right to the starting line and train like crazy for 8 weeks and give everything they've got to doing their best, cross the finish line in whatever position they're in, raise their arms up and say, that's my best, it's good enough, and I'm proud of it. That's what our athletes do for each and every one of us. They play united. They play unified. They play with the best they've got. On the way up here, I said to Kester Edwards, one of our great athletes, an ocean swimmer, an ocean racer who's introduced the sport of ocean racing to Special Olympics, will race, we'll have ocean racing for the first time in Athens this summer. I said, Kester, when you hear the Games of Acceptance, that's the title, what does it mean? He said very simply, he says it means that in New Jersey, there's a community. People say, why are we coming to New Jersey? That's the answer. New Jersey started the Young Athletes Program. It's a place of innovation. New Jersey has the most ambitious center in the country. Families can come, support workers can come, people can learn, people can join together. That's why we're coming to New Jersey. New Jersey didn't forget Newark, didn't forget Jersey City, didn't just stick to the suburbs. New Jersey said every athlete counts. That's why we're coming to New Jersey. There are clubs all over this state, growing even today, reminding people that there's a way to fight for inclusion that's fun and engaging and can make a difference in everyone's life. That's why we're coming to New Jersey. So in the end, I want to thank all the sponsors. I really believe your investment will give you as good a return as anything else you do. I want to thank all the political leaders. It's a tough time to believe in a cause like this and to commit the kinds of resources necessary to make it happen. People will be criticized, well, all this money. But this is an investment in fundamental values, and there's never a time where fundamental values are too expensive. So I want to thank those leaders. I want to thank everybody who's given so much of themselves in this bid, so many of the people in Special Olympics New Jersey. But in the end, I want to thank the athletes, because although some may say the athletes are humble, some may say there's tough times, Jason, right? When you guys train, when you guys compete, when you guys really work hard, you remind us all that greatness is really something within us. It's not something the world sees. It's something that comes out of us, something everybody in this room has. And I can promise you, athletes, that you look around this room, there's a lot of people who are trying to find the greatness within them, struggling, wondering if they can get it out. Every one of us. And the reason we come back over and over again, the reason this movement is growing around the world, and the reason the United States of America needs to come to New Jersey in 2014 is so that you can teach us over and over and over again that the greatness within us is the greatest gift we have to offer the world, and that when we recognize it in ourselves and in one another, we can unite, and we can do what this country is great at doing, which is to marshal the power of the human spirit to make a difference in our communities and around the world. So I'm thrilled to represent the world of Special Olympics. It's the greatest honor any human being could have, really. I mean, I know it's great to represent New Jersey, don't get me wrong. But representing the athletes of this movement is an even greater honor, one that I am very humbly proud to carry. And on behalf of all of them, their family members and the volunteers of the world, I congratulate you athletes, and I can tell you, the people of the United States are going to be excited to learn the lessons you have to teach between now and 2014 and when they arrive here. Thank you.
Tim, thank you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you certainly and your family for providing the vision and the leadership that have made this a movement and taken it literally from your backyard across the globe. Our thanks to you again for sharing this with us today. Our next speaker, among other titles throughout the course of his life, currently the president of the Senate of the great state of New Jersey. But my suspicion is, having seen him today, that of all the great titles that have been bestowed upon him throughout the course of his lifetime, perhaps the one he's most proud of is being the parent of a Special Olympics athlete. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming another one of our great champions, Senator Stephen Sweeny.
We do a lot of things together, right, Lauren?
Right, Dad.
Right, Lauren. I know I have one fan, you know. It's been tough. It's been tough. Just listen to the Democrats. Believe me, I'm a Democrat. First, I want to thank the governor for coming. It really says a lot. The governor and I find areas of compromise. We have a lot of areas where we fight, where we don't agree, but no one should ever say he doesn't have a heart. He came here because he cares, and I thank him very much for being here. And Tim, I love your shoelaces. And honestly, TJ, he told us how we can raise some money. But, it is a remarkable family legacy that your family cared before anyone else did, that actually have our children looked at differently. And to TJ and to Mark for the outstanding job that you do year in and year out to make this Special Olympics what it is. It's about the athletes. I deal with some of the ugliest things you can possibly imagine at times. But when you watch a Special Olympian achieve something or make the effort to do something, you know what that means? You can do anything. There's nothing you can't do. Because guess what? She can. They can. So if they can, I can. I've learned so much in my life through my daughter. And I got to tell you, I want to thank everyone for what they do, because what this does is gives all children an opportunity to have a productive and active life. My daughter will be the very best person she can possibly be, because she's had an opportunity to actually compete in sports. People say, what's the big deal about sports? It's about teamwork, camaraderie, the developing of willpower to accomplish something, and then to congratulate your opponent once they beat you. We all should learn, and we all could learn a great deal from what these special athletes do. So for everyone that's here that's made this possible, thank you so much. And New Jersey is a very special place, and what an honor to hold the 2014 games. And Lauren, were we going to be there?
Yeah, I am there.
Okay. Thank you all so much. Thank you.